That's why Eddie Hearn's been staring around me for the last 10 years.
Has Eddie Hearn ever tried to sign you?
He has. He had the opportunity to do it. I believe he said in one of his interviews it was the biggest regret of his life.
Okay. Those are the words of Tyson the Gypsy King Fury. First off, shout out to St. Don. St. Don told me, and he really reminded me that Eddie Hearn did say that. And he left the source. Shout out to you, St. Don. Now, let me counterpunch. I did doubt that Eddie Hearn said that. But I do remember now in hindsight, when I saw that it was around what I said in this particular interview yesterday, that Eddie Hearn didn't want to pay him the amount of money for the fights that he wanted, okay, because he was 400 pounds when he had the opportunity to sign him, okay? That's different than last year, okay? Last year, you had a new and improved Tyson Fury. Went to Crunk's gym. He learned how to punch. He beat Deontay Wilder by knockout, his first loss. So in hindsight, Eddie Hearn regretted that because that was a year ago. Okay, that was in April of 2020. And he regretted that because when he had the opportunity about 3-4 years ago, he didn't sign him because he didn't believe in him. Okay, and I did doubt that. Okay, I'm man enough to admit I was wrong to a certain degree. Now, I did cover the tracks because I'm like, hey, I didn't say he didn't say it. But that was honestly, I was doubting that. Okay, so shout out to St. Don. Now, let me counterpunch what Tyson Fury did. Okay, nobody believed that he was going to beat Wilder, especially coming off of 400 pounds, chopped that down. He fought a couple tune-ups, but it really wasn't convincing, right? But he did what he said he was going to do. And since he called out Deontay Wilder, looking at all this right now, okay, the whole spectrum, Tyson Fury called out Deontay Wilder because Deontay Wilder was the easier choice. Knowing what we know now, knowing that Tyson Fury had the opportunity to fight Anthony Joshua for that big pot of gold, and he decided to take another easy fight. Why? Think about what John Fury said. He was worried about his son. Tyson Fury himself, he implied that he could lose because he hadn't had a fight. So what he did, once again, he took the easier choice. He's fighting Deontay Wilder again because he knows, I beat Deontay Wilder 2 different ways. I boxed him the first fight. I kind of got robbed with a draw. Then the second fight, I stopped him convincingly in the 7th round, right? His trainer called the fight. Kenny Bayless said he was going to call the fight. That was a lose-lose situation for Wilder. Now, can Wilder come back? We will see, right? But Tyson Fury, knowing what we know, he picked the easier choice because he knew he didn't want to come in there with a fresh, new Anthony Joshua that he'd never really been in the ring except for sparring, and we all know what happened, okay? So I think he chose that for his tune-up. He needed a fight. Why do you think he's trying to fight Anthony Joshua in December? Because he wants 2 fights, okay? He wants a tune-up fight first. He doesn't care when the fight is, as long as he has a fight before Anthony Joshua. So that's just me setting the record straight. Again, I was wrong, okay? And I admit it. I was wrong. I doubted that Eddie Hearn said that, but in those words, but, okay? Eddie Hearn didn't believe in Tyson Fury, but seeing what Tyson Fury did, now he made a believer out of Eddie Hearn. But the way Tyson Fury explained it, like, hey, he's been after me ever since. Yeah, he's been after you ever since. You're the WBC heavyweight champion of the world from Britain. Why not sign you? And honestly, I think if he would have signed with Eddie Hearn would have had him more structured. And I think they would have bumped heads because Tyson Fury wanted, again, to fight these fights that Eddie Hearn didn't agree with. So they would have bumped heads even if he would have agreed. But Eddie Hearn, he cut that off right then and there. He didn't sign Tyson Fury, and they fell out because Tyson Fury then wanted to fight these guys that nobody wanted to fight, like Pianetta and Safari and other guys like that. He wanted tune-ups to get back in action, okay? So Eddie Hearn wouldn't have it. But Tyson Fury now, he boasts with glee because he knows, hey, you should have signed me when you had the chance. So Eddie Hearn is regretful he didn't sign Tyson Fury because, once again, he didn't believe in him. But now he does, and Tyson Fury has a special way of proving people wrong. But anyway, that's my counterpunch on myself. You guys tell me what you think about this corrected Eddie Hearn statement. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.